Last week, I spent some time in some of the most popular Raleigh hangouts asking people what they love about living in Raleigh, and because you know I'm kind of a straight shooter, I also asked them what they didn't like so much about Raleigh. Oh, really? You think it's okay. So tell us what... Oh, wow. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the 5 things people told me they love about the city of Raleigh and the 5 things people hate about Raleigh. These are not my words, these are just regular people who I happen to bump into on my travels. This is Moore Square. Just a few years ago, it was a rundown area without much to recommend it. Today, it's a vibrant city square where people love to come hang out and enjoy the local food scene. We came by on a Sunday to the Moore Square Market to see what we could find. There are often events here and usually live music. Actually, a big thing that is coming back to Raleigh finally after all the pandemic shutdowns is the Hopscotch Music Festival. This festival is known for its eclectic lineup of musicians. They host everything from rock to hip hop to metal, folk, electronic, all kinds of stuff. And this is going to be happening right in downtown Raleigh across 2 stages this September. One of the stages is in Moore Square and one is at Raleigh City Plaza. Anyway, Moore Square is a great little hangout space flanked by some of the most popular restaurants in Raleigh. There is also some really iconic stuff around here. Right across the street is the Poorhouse Music Hall and Record Shop. They've got a bar and record shop upstairs, and the downstairs is a small event venue where they have all kinds of local and indie bands play. Then there's the Raleigh Times bar around the corner. It's in the old newspaper building, and there are clippings from the former newspaper, the Raleigh Times, all over the walls. It's got this really connected to history feel.
I moved here in 99, so like 22 years now.
Okay, where did you come from?
From Saudi Arabia.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us what your favorite thing is about living here.
About Raleigh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something that's just so cliche. It's like it's not a small town, but it has the living style, the lifestyle of a small town, but all the facilities of a bigger city, right? We have all these activities, markets. I love all, you can just go to like outdoor markets or events. I love that.
Yeah.
So I have 2 little kids as well, so it works out.
Yes. So if you are a foodie, you have found your foodie heaven. Raleigh stays very true to its agricultural roots, and real food is around every corner. Whether you want to purchase locally grown meats and veggies and do your own cooking, or you're looking for farm-to-table food prepared for you, you don't have to look far in Raleigh to find it. Irregardless Cafe is one of the most iconic restaurants in Raleigh. They have been serving organic farm-to-table food since before it was popular. They opened way back in 1975. They also have live music 3 nights a week and a full bar, and you don't want to miss their brunch. Truth be told, there is a farm stand on every corner in Raleigh during the growing season, but Raleigh is also home to the State Farmers Market, which is an amazing experience.
The farmers market's open like weekly now, which is pretty cool. It only used to be during the weekends.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So.
It's peach season and cantaloupe season in Raleigh right now in July. This is literally my favorite food time of year, and Michelle's at the State Farmers Market has the best melons you will ever eat anywhere. If you come to Raleigh in the summer, go to Michelle's. If you find yourself in Raleigh eating grocery store cantaloupe that tastes like plastic, you will remember this video, and then you will go to the farmers market and get yourself a cantaloupe from Michelle's. And this is not even a paid ad. You'll thank me later.
I'd say Drive Shack.
Raleigh is full of really fun things to do, and we are one of the 4 cities in the U.S. that has a Drive Shack, which is super cool. I actually live very close to this Drive Shack, and I will say that my neighbors and I weren't super psyched when we saw the netting going up into the sky when they started building it. But I guess that's way better than a golf ball flying through your kitchen window. Here's some forewarning. I'm not a golfer. My mother and my grandmother have both hit holes in one and are very good golfers, but you know, stuff your mom does when you're a kid is not cool, so I never got into it. But I decided to head over to Drive Shack to see what all the fuss was about. Another thing a lot of people said about Raleigh is there's a lot of family-friendly, community-focused things to do here.
I've lived in Raleigh since '96.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, came here for school. and graduated, left, came back, started a family, and been here since then. I came from Baltimore, inner city Baltimore, to Raleigh. It's like night and day.
Yes.
And I just love the fact that you can raise a family here.
Yeah. Fast. But Raleigh is like, you still get that city feel, but it's family oriented. Like, you know, it's still like homey.
Very community.
Right.
And they still have all the large events here. You know, you can.
In the summertime, that often means water. Although I don't understand why spray grounds seem to be a kid thing, because when it's 95 degrees in the summer, I could stand a good spray in the face with some water. Okay, maybe not in the face. Anyway, there are always a million kids on the many different spray grounds throughout the Triangle. We've got a few spray grounds in Raleigh and also throughout the surrounding towns and suburbs. Wake Forest, Knightdale, Fuquay, Cary, all have spray grounds. But if that isn't your thing, there are community pools and lakes like Falls Lake and Jordan Lake where you can go boating or skiing. Raleigh is just an easy way to get plugged into your people. There are so many community groups focused around spending time with friends. There are just so many groups to get involved in Raleigh. Whatever you like to do, you can be sure that there's someone who has formed a group for it. Meetups is a great place to find friends. On the first page of groups on Meetup, there are things like over the hill hiking, probably for retirees, soccer groups, yoga groups, groups for 20-somethings, groups for 30-somethings, groups for 30, 40, and 50-somethings. Oh, and groups for people who like to play board games, which is something I should also mention that has gotten popular around here lately. There are several gaming clubs in the Triangle. This is not just for people who play video games, although there's a lot of that around here with the companies like Epic Games having their headquarters here. But these gaming clubs are for board game enthusiasts. There are several throughout the Triangle. The Gamers Armory is a gaming shop in Cary that is a great place to hang out and play board games. They have a ton of tables and they host gaming nights where you can go and meet other gamers and play in tournaments. It's pretty cool. I really did ask as many people as would talk to me what they disliked about Raleigh, and we couldn't come up with much. Is there anything that you think is missing from this area or that you dislike about it?
I'm like the worst person to ask that question because I've honestly traveled to like 35, 36 countries, and I've lived and worked in 6. This is the place I choose to be. This is home.
That's actually, you're the best person to ask.
There's nothing I would change about this. People complain about, you know, too much traffic. I mean, it's things that come with this kind of lifestyle, bigger city. It's not as bad as New York or Chicago, so.
Yeah, we don't want to interrupt your business.
That's right.
Go ahead. Okay, so tell us, what don't you like?
I've seen the city grow, so I like kind of the direction in which the city's going in. It's getting a little more expensive, but you know,
Yes.
other than that, you know, that's everywhere now.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I love Raleigh. I love Raleigh.
Yeah. Maybe people just haven't lived here long enough, or maybe people in Raleigh just are so happy and positive that they always look on the bright side, or maybe anyone who wrote those grumpy reviews online have already moved away. At any rate, I'm going to share some bad stuff that I came up with because no place is perfect, even if people say it is. Do you see these cute little faces? This is what crossed my mind when this morning my next door neighbor texted me to let me know there was a huge coyote in her yard near our shared fence line. Now her dog's really big, but my little guys are about a coyote-sized snack. Truly, there are coyotes in Raleigh and you will see them around at times, but coyotes are nocturnal, so I wouldn't leave my puppies out overnight alone or in the early morning, because if they are really small, they really may get snatched.
It's usually more afraid of you than you are of it.
Coyotes usually eat small mammals like rabbits and voles, but a small kitty or puppy, keep them inside. I wouldn't say it's a common thing to hear about that happening. It's not like there are armies of coyotes waiting to snatch your pets, and there are also plenty of wild rabbits and other small mammals, so they're not hungry, but just to be safe, keep your small pets inside at night. When I first moved to Raleigh, I used to do my shopping on Sunday morning. Now that I no longer have traditional working hours, I try to shop during the workday when other people are working, but back then it was always Sunday, and I like to cook with wine, so I usually have wine on my shopping list, but in North Carolina, it is illegal to sell alcoholic beverages on Sunday mornings. Until 2017, liquor sales weren't legal on Sunday mornings before noon, but now they changed the law to 10 a.m., so it's slightly better. And here's another weird liquor law. In Florida, where I moved from, we have liquor stores attached to grocery stores. It's convenient, so when you do your shopping, you can pick up any alcohol you need, but here, all alcohol has to be sold through state-run ABC stores. ABC stands stands for Alcohol Beverage Control Board, but ABC stores are closed on Sunday. And here is yet another weird alcohol issue. Online liquor sales are very difficult. Most online retailers will not ship to North Carolina. The ABC stores only carry limited varieties of alcohol, so if you're a connoisseur like my husband and like more sophisticated varieties of liquor, they can be hard to find here. And you can't buy hard liquor in Costco in North Carolina, although they do carry wine. Black widows are common in North Carolina. I have seen many black widows since I've lived here. Now, they are shy, they don't like people, and I've never once heard of anyone being bitten by them. You will often see them in dark places, underneath things, so just pay attention to what you pick up. Even if you do accidentally run into them, they aren't aggressive and probably won't bite, but certainly don't go picking them up.
I would never recommend that you go out and try to pick up a black widow. If you see a black widow outside of your house, you do not need to be afraid of it. Remember, these arachnids are eating the pest insects that are out there. It could be mosquitoes, could be moths, whatever it is, the spider has no interest in biting you.
Okay. Raleigh, I have said this before, Raleigh is not New York City. You are not going to come here and find an endless urban adventure. The urban adventure definitely ends generally in about 4 blocks and you're back in the suburbs. You can walk around the whole downtown of Raleigh in about an hour. In another video, I addressed the issue that we have venomous snakes here in Raleigh. Copperheads are the most ubiquitous, but since the time of that video, our standard for snake fear has skyrocketed because of something that happened in the news a couple weeks ago, which is how I also learned about our snake laws, which I'm going to get to in just a minute. What happened was some animal-loving Raleigh resident was keeping 60 venomous vipers in his home. And the way all this went down is actually in itself a pretty interesting peek into the life of Raleigh. It must have been an incredibly slow news day because truthfully, the residents of Raleigh had a bonding moment over a spitting cobra. People were searching high and low for this snake. There were memes, there were search parties. The community feel was in full force. This snake, a zebra cobra, somehow escaped from its captivity and had been on the loose for over a year when its owner spotted it near his home and called the authorities. They came and eventually trapped the snake and hopefully brought it to a zoo or more acceptable home because they discovered that this kid had many snakes, black mambas, lots of cobras, apparently all living in his home, and he was still living with his parents. What I learned from all of this, besides the fact that parenting children doesn't end when they're adults, is that laws in Raleigh actually allow people to keep venomous vipers as long as they're in an escape-proof cage. I guess that's where this guy went wrong because they took the snakes.
Some have made light of the zebra cobra issue, but it could have ended tragically, and I think we've got to take this issue very seriously.
If you like this video, you will probably also like this one about the reasons people love living in Raleigh.